this mission is what draws everybody together. I mean, the fact that we're at this point where we even have to say, make America healthy again, is sad that we've gotten to this point, but it's like a revolution that's happening. That's why it's so powerful to be around all these MAHA people, because we just light each other up on a cellular level, right? It's just raising that high vibe, and I think that's what we used to be as a species, you know, and just bringing back that culture. When people sit around our lunch tables, I just can see the light bulbs going off that this just feels right. You know, like we're just bringing it all together, and it's like the way life should be.
Hilary, so great to be here with you. Such an exciting week, month, time to be alive in this movement. How are we feeling?
Oh my gosh, I'm like on cloud nine. Just can't even believe that I'm here in DC with the top people, the smartest people who can actually make the change that I've been like envisioning for the last nearly a decade, or more, 2 decades.
Are a part of that change, Hilary. For our audience members that aren't familiar with you and your story, give us a brief synopsis of how you became involved in this movement and why you're here.
Yeah, so it was really through my own family's health journey and my health journey of infertility, and then having 5 kids, and one with eczema, one with epilepsy, head tics, speech delays, and then a husband with cancer, dad with Alzheimer's, that I was just like, things have to change. And then I really woke up to the power of food and the healing powers of food, and changed the trajectory of our health because of the Weston A. Price Foundation. Got my kids on real food, and everybody started to heal, and we just like never looked back. And anyway, our cancer journey brought us from Massachusetts to Los Angeles, where we found this great little school where it was just in its first year, and then as the school grew, they started to outsource the food, and that's when I was like, wait a minute, this isn't really aligned with my beliefs, and kids can eat better. And so I stepped into the work of becoming the lunch lady, and never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be a lunch lady at my kids' school, but I knew that if I didn't step in, that nobody would. And so I just was like, I'm gonna do this and feed kids, you know, gut healing foods, brain building foods, and build their bodies and build their brains, and show what's possible. So.
Now we have a long way to go as far as getting real foods, whole foods into every school across America. And it starts at a young age, right, where you're developing, and your gut health, the gut-brain axis needs to be connected at that young of an age, where your frontal lobe isn't even fully developed, and you're learning, and we're expecting kids to be active. There is so much work to be done. Talk to us about what that work looks like to you, what the vision looks like.
There's so much work to be done, but I feel like I say we're joyfully disrupting the trend of chronic illness in this next generation of kids, because we have to make it joyful, because otherwise people just kind of put the blinders on, and it's too hard, and it's too much work, and we're too far down this. They don't really see another path forward. So that's where I come in and just show what's possible and show that this works. And now we have nearly a decade of work feeding kids nutrient-dense foods every day, and I know that when you normalize that from a young age, it becomes a way of life, a lifestyle. So we need to make it fun. We need to engage the kids. We need to educate on the line every day, bring the parents in, educate the parents, and make it a joyful act of like bringing back nourishing children and nourishing our families as like a real true act of love. You know, we've become so disconnected from our food system and what true nourishment really is. And so when people sit around our lunch tables, I just can see the light bulbs going off that this just feels right. You know, everyone's in community, K through 12, teachers, parents, farmers, you know, like we're just bringing it all together, and it's like the way life should be.
Right, I love that, because Secretary Kennedy says this now, this is more than a movement just about our food supply, just about mental. This is a spiritual movement. It's a spiritual awakening. And we are very disconnected. We're disconnected from community, but we're also disconnected from our ancestors and an ancestral way of eating and living. So that's also what this movement really is about. And you're such a perfect example, a poignant example of the story of the MAHA Institute, of local, of grassroots involvement, of a mom that thought she could make a difference and her voice was powerful. Talk to us about the MAHA Institute and being around all of these people from all different walks of life who've come together because of one common belief and mission. What does that feel like?
It's just amazing. I mean, we all, I think, recognize the importance of being human and going back, like you said, those ancestral ways and that ancestral wisdom. I say that we need to become the ancestors in training, really like step into that work and relearn what was once common knowledge and pass down from generation to generation so that we can then pass it down again to the next generation. So I feel like the MAHA movement is all of these people that really have woken up to that there is a better way. And it's really an old way where we're connected, we're part of nature. I mean, when Kennedy talks about nature, it so resonates with me because that's what this nature-based school brought to me, is that we are part of nature. We're not separate. And that's our food systems. That's our microbiomes. You know, all of it is, we're living symbiotically with all that surrounds us and lives within us. And so when we can come together, that's why it's so powerful to be around all these MAHA people, because we just light each other up on a cellular level, right? It's just raising that high vibe. And I think that's what I would hope to be a part of with this movement, is just to raise that vibe and make it fun and make it like, let's go. And, you know, just bring that joy to the remembering of what we used to be as a species, you know, and just bringing back that culture.
Yeah.
I say, like, that culture, my son's lacrosse coach said to us moms one day, he said, culture precedes success. And I thought, that's why we're so successful in our little kitchen on this mountaintop in Topanga, because we've brought in a food culture and a kitchen culture.
Right.
You know, we say, check your ego at the door, mission is the boss. This is not a restaurant kitchen, it's loving on these kids every day and just putting as much nutrient density into them every single day. And then creating a food culture at the school where it's just, again, this joyful community and experience, and that's what we need. And so MAHA, it's like every mom wants their kid to be healthy. Every person wants to feel that good, nourished feeling after a meal, right? But we're also, it's normalized to feel unwell, you know? And
it
then
has become.
Right, and then there's just a pill for every ailment.
To have autoimmune conditions, to be chronically sick, has become the norm for so many. So when you go to the doctor and they're throwing Band-Aids at you, that has also become normalized. So I think there's so many, the good news is there's so many of us that are sparking these conversations and leading Americans to ask the questions, demand answers from their physicians, and seek alternative treatments. And part of that, of course, is in our food supply. What would your advice be, Hilary, to the young mom out there, or the mom that has 3 kids already that's dealing with eczema, autoimmune conditions, that doesn't know where to start, that's new to this movement, that's new to learning about Make America Healthy Again? Where does that young mom start?
Yeah, I think, well, that's what she needs, is community, right? She needs voices. She needs people that she can trust and that she can, you know, look up to and find that one tip of the day that she can do, right? Whether it's finding your local farmer or your friend that just is deciding to learn to cook and to step into the kitchen and take back your health. She needs, I mean, for me, it was the Weston A. Price Foundation, which people can look up as an amazing foundation based on ancestral wisdom. And that those leaders across the country, you know, they just helped me really opened my eyes to the power of real food. And then I just started finding my local farmers and started cooking at home. And then you can only start bit by bit. You can't do it all at once. But for a mom to know that, again, we are miraculous beings of nature. Your body wants to be in homeostasis. Your kids want to be in homeostasis. So when you give them the proper nourishment, that their bodies know how to absorb and assimilate and digest the nutrition and the nutrients, then they will become balanced.
Right.
And so it's about trusting and tuning into your intuition. As a mom, you know, I was that scared mom who just trusted and was like, what do I do? I don't know. But if you can take a step back and say, you know, okay, we didn't get here overnight. We're not going to fix it overnight. They're not going to die overnight. Like, just take a beat. I think a lot of people are scared. There's a lot of fear in the system. So if you just take a beat and say, okay, I'm just going to like tune in. We've lost that connection to our intuition, which is our superpower, and we all have it. And then just let's say, you know, let me just take time and explore my options.
Right.
Let me get back to like starting with real food. let me talk to some people, right? Like there's no real rush, I think, and it's all about, everything's
community
quick.
is so welcoming.
And the community is so welcoming, and people want to help. I mean, I just met an amazing guy who's just like, let me help you with this, and let me connect you to this doctor. And it's like people, we all want to help. I think that's the beauty of MAHA, is that we're just heart-centered people that have been through, most of us have been through some sort of health journey. And that's
it shows.
You're right, like, so we're so passionate.
You can tell when someone's been through something. Hilary, that leads me to my next question. Everyone has such a different answer to this, but when you hear the term MAHA, for someone that's been in this fight for so long, that has probably had many nights of crying, of being lost, of being confused, not knowing which direction to go, what does the term MAHA mean to you?
For me, it's like, make America healthy again. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? And so it's not, it's bipartisan. All kids deserve, it's their birthright to be healthy and thriving. So, I mean, the fact that we're at this point where we even have to say, make America healthy again, is sad that we've gotten to this point, but it's like a revolution that's happening, and people are seeing that we are so far down this rabbit hole or this wrong direction. And so make America healthy again, to me, is like, let's go, let's do this, let's gain, it's like grassroots, boots on the ground, let's gain the momentum, and let's make it healthy again. And we can be thriving, free of disease, and pursuing our dreams. And like the power of the human is just, I'm just tapping into like how incredibly ornate and miraculous we are, and what we can accomplish. So when we drop down, into our heart space, and this mission is what draws everybody together, and put all the other stuff aside, and it's like a common goal that I think everybody can rally around, right? For the kids, if we don't have a healthy next generation of kids, what do we have?
Right. Well, we love your energy, your spirit, your grit. You're so fierce, and we need more people in this fight like yourself. So thank you so much for all that you're doing and for spreading that energy and love with us. We so appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be a part of it, and I hope that becoming a school lunch chef is like the coolest job in the world, and everyone wants to dive in.
Wasn't on your bingo card.
Right.
But you are quite frankly crushing it. So thank you.
Thank you.